right, again, guys, we're recording the section 4. The other 3 sections, guys, these videos are on there. Today after school, I'm going to stay, when you guys leave, I'm going to stay and redo 3. I messed up 3 earlier today, about halfway through it, and didn't have time to start over again in that class. If we have time in here, I'll re-record 3. What I'm recording now is 4. The first question to number 1 is, on your page, it's number 1. On the review, it's number 76. You can find that review on e-class. Guys, it's all 125 problems that are examples of things that will be like problems on the milestone. Okay, letter D, guys, is the answer because it's the only one which might not end up being a polynomial. Right now, as a mathematician, you should feel comfortable if you add 2 polynomials. It says M and N are polynomials. You add 2 polynomials, you combine like terms. B, you're subtracting, you combine like terms. C, guys, C is multiplying. You know, you FOIL. Guys, this fraction, a rational expression, might not end up being a polynomial because if you had 2 polynomials that were the same, guys, everything would cancel out. And so I would end up with something that's not a polynomial. Okay? Problem number 77, which on your page, guys, which on your page will be problem number 2. Anybody have an answer for that one? B. Guys, B is the correct answer there. It says x squared plus 2x plus 3, and it asks the y-intercept is 3. Well, we know that's true. The constant is always 3. Where did you learn that at? Y equals mx plus b. What's that b sitting out there by itself? Same thing here. Ax squared plus bx plus c. That number sitting out there by itself is the y-intercept. So statement 1 is true. It says the vertex is at negative 1, 2. Guys, for the vertex to be at negative 1, 2, again, this is one of those things I tried to tell you about your blue sheet. Look at your blue sheet. Find the quadratic formula. What's important about the quadratic formula is not that you memorize the quadratic formula, but you know the way to find the x value of the vertex is negative b over 2a. So negative b over 2a would be negative 2 over 2 times 1. Well, that's negative 1. So the x value of the vertex is negative 1 like it says. If you take negative 1 and plug it in here, you get 1 plus 3 is 4. Plus negative 2 is 2. So this is true. The first statement is true. And its x-intercept is negative 1. Well, looking at the equation, I can tell it's not going to have an x-intercept of negative 1. If you take your calculator real quick, go ahead and do this. Take your calculator real quick. Plug that into your calculator, x squared plus 2x plus 3. You should see if the vertex is at negative 1, 2, and it opens which way? Look at the picture. Which way is it open? Up. X squared plus 2x plus 3 opens up. If you plug it into your calculator, y equals x squared. Push the y equals button on your calculator. You push the y equals button on your calculator and type that in, you'll see it opens up. Does it even have an x-intercept? No, it doesn't cross the x-axis. So that means statement 3 cannot be true. So the only one that's true are 1 and 2. Questions? All right, now we're on question number 3. Looking at this, less than half of us got this one right. Okay, what number is it? Number 78. Okay, so you're on the exam. It's number 78 on the actual answer sheet that you got. Problem number 78 should have been B. Guys, which of these does not have zeros at negative 1 and 4? Well, I can check all of these out and find that this one factors out to be 2 times x squared plus 3x minus 4. So since it factors out to be the same thing, that has those zeros, x plus 4, x minus 1. So negative 4 and 1 are its zeros. Okay? negative 4 and positive 1. That's backwards of this. See, look, x equals negative 4, x equals positive 1. All of these others, x minus 4, x plus 1, 4 and negative 1 are at zeros. If you factor the negative 1 out here, take a negative 1 out of that, it'll turn around and be the same thing. Take 2 out of this. And so that's you guys that went over and worked on classworks. Guys, if you go to classworks right now, let me tell you something about classworks, guys. If you go to classworks right now and there's a concept that you don't feel good about, oh my gosh, I don't remember SOHCAHTOA at all. If you go on there, there's a SOHCAHTOA banner. You can work those till it disappears, getting ready for the milestone. Oh my gosh, probability is not something I feel good about. There's a probability one right there. Oh my gosh, I can't factor. Guys, I got 2 on factoring. 1 will take you back, all the way back to the very beginning, the very first time you ever factored. Like 4th and 5th grade kind of stuff. So it's there for you. Which of the following is negative x squared plus 2? All right, let's do this. Tell me which one it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not A.
It's not B, and it's not C. Why not?
Because it goes down, not up.
Yeah, we know this has to open up. Okay? This plus 2 right there.
It makes it go down.
No, the plus 2 is the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is plus 2 right there, so I know number 79 is A. That's about the only time I'm going to spend. What number is this in your test? 4 or 5?
I think it was 4.
4? Guys, look, 61% of us got that one right. We did actually a pretty good job on that problem. So here's number 5, guys. In number 5, more than half of us got this one. That's problem number 5. More than half of us got number 80 correct. Guys, 80 says, which function is graph is the translation 7 units down? How do you make it go down? H or K? K. So 7 units down from 3x squared plus 4 minus 7, guys, would be C. Number 80 is C. Again, more than half of you guys got that right. That's a great job. Problem number 6, again, more than half of us got number 6 correct. Guys, we did a pretty good job with number 6. Okay, it says, if the relationship between x and y is quadratic, which value completes the table? Okay, so what have I got here? The 21 to 7 minus 21 is 14. So what is this? 21 and 7 is 14. So that's not 14. What is that? 34? Somebody with a calculator. What's 27 minus 61? What? Isn't it negative 34? So when I go to the second one here, I'm supposed to be able to, I should be able to come up with what the quadratic function is that makes this problem up, so I should be able to figure out what it is. So we can come up with an equation, guys, of this by plugging it in our calculator. If you plug it into your calculator to do a quadratic regression, guys, if you use your calculator to do a quadratic regression, put these numbers into L1, put these numbers into L2, you can find out that the quadratic regression that you'll get will have a equation of 2x squared plus x plus 6. So 2x squared plus x plus 6. So then take that number and plug it in and see what 1 gives you. So if you plug 1 into here, 1 squared is 1, plus times 2 is 2, plus 1 is 3, plus 6 is 9. The correct answer to 81 is C. Guys, if you graph these points, you can also graph those points and kind of see what point would be next? Negative 3, 21, negative 1, 7, 1 something, 3, 27, over 3, up 27, over 5, up 61. So I can kind of tell in here where that might be. But based on your answers, that's another way you can get at least close. Okay? Which one has an axis of symmetry of x equals 2? Remember, x equals negative b over 2a. Guys, that's the x value. Look up here. That's the x value of the parabola. What do you know about the vertex of the parabola? Where is it at? Right in the dead center, right? So if I can find out what that x-axis, the x value of the vertex is, I can find what the axis of symmetry is. So take these problems right here and find the one that gives you negative b over 2a equal to negative 2. Well, looking at these, guys, looking at these, the one that you, if you try all of those, the one that works, the one that gives us a negative 2 is problem number D. Guys, the negative of 4 is negative 4. 2 times 1, guys, 2 times 1 is 2. Negative 4 over 2 is negative 2. There's the x value of the vertex, negative 2. So the correct answer to 82 is D. How about 83? Let's see.
What number is that on that paper?
Okay. Love it. It's a good one. It says, what value of x makes the equation x squared plus 64 equals 16x true? So all we have to do, guys, is take these numbers and plug them in. Let's take these numbers and plug them into the equation. If I took this problem here and I said x squared minus 16x plus 64 equals 0, I could factor this problem to x minus 8 squared equals 0. So I know, guys, I know the only answer to this problem, number 83, would be D. But again, if you just try it, you just try the numbers, take negative 8, plug it into that equation, take negative 4, plug it into that equation, take positive 4, plug it in, the only one that works is 8. 64 plus 64 is 128, and then 16 times 8 is 128. Okay, y varies directly with x. Again, this is more Algebra 1 than it is geometry. When you vary directly, you have an equation y equals ax. It says, so that's a direct variation. So if you divide both sides by x, you get y over x equals your constant of variation. So what you can do, guys, is you can set up a proportion. So y equals 40 when x equals negative 5. So x equals negative 5. As x equals 8 when y is, I don't know. Now, I set this up so that you could tell me this next step. How do you solve a proportion? Awesome. Cross multiply. Negative 5 times what? So that gives me negative 5y. 40 times 8? 320. 320 divided by 5? So the correct answer to number 84 is also D. Look at that. Guys, those are ones that we have to try to get right. Okay, what problem number are we up to? On our test, guys, it's problem 85. But what is it on y'all's page? It should be 9 or 10. It's number 9. Guys, look at your answer sheet. Again, here's one of those we've got to get right. This is a question that's going to show up. What's A? Look up here. What's A? 1. What's B? What's C? Do we use C? No, we don't use C. When we're trying to find the x value of the vertex, all we do is negative b over 2a. What's the negative of a negative 2? 2 times a? 2 times 1? 2. What's 2 over 2 equal to? Correct answer is 85 is B. That was 10? Okay, let's see, just to give you an idea, guys, only 22% of us got that one right. That's one in a test, guys. If I was you, here's how I do it. I read through the first time, guys, and I answer the ones I can answer. Also, understand this on standardized tests. When you start a standardized test, the first question is going to be the hardest question on the test or the easiest. It should be the easiest. Okay, and they get harder as you go. That's on purpose, guys. That's what a good tester does to people. You start out with questions that they can get right. Okay, so you say, I can get that one right, but it's going to take me a minute. Skip over it the first time you read through. Then the second time, go, that's one I can do. I just knew it was going to take me a little longer. And there's going to be problems, guys, in any standardized test. There are going to be problems that you don't necessarily know how to do. Guys, on the test, there's 72, I think it is, 72 or 73 problems. 10 of them are Algebra 2. 10 of the questions are Algebra 2. Should you be able to get those right? No. Guys, you should not be able to get those right. It is on that test on purpose because they're trying out test problems to see whether they are good questions for an Algebra 2 student or not. So they got to have some kind of data, so that's where they get it from. Now, the 62 questions that they're in, they don't mark them and say, hey, these two matter. They got to just bury them in the test somewhere. Okay, so there's going to be some that you don't necessarily know how to do. Guys, don't do that the first time you're reading through the test. Do that the second time you're reading through the test, the third time you're reading through the test. That's a little bit of testing strategy right there. Okay, problem number 86. This is the one I told you about. Guys, I love the fact that you guys have gotten so good about the quadratic formula. Y'all have gotten really good about working the quadratic formula. But every once in a while, you're still going to have to be able to factor. X plus 8, come on, tell me. What are the factors of negative 24 that add together and give me 5? Factors of negative 24 that add together and give me 5. 8 and negative 3, so the correct answer to 86 is C. Awesome. 87. Guys, a lot of us got 87 right. What would 87 be? That would be, no, what number is it? 11 or 12? 11? 50% of us. Half of you guys got this one right. So 50% of you got D. D. Factors of 16 that add together give you 8. This is number 12. Number 13. Number 13 is the next one. Guys, here's 13, 14, and 15. So let's, on 13, you should have gotten, anybody? D. Which one's not a trinomial perfect square? Again, guys, get it right. Factors of 6 that add, factors of 9 that add together give me 6. 3 and 3. Factors of 9 that add together give me negative 6, or negative 3 and 3. Factors of 36 that add together give me 12.
6.
So x plus 6 squared. Look, guys. Yeah, we ought to get those right, guys. I drilled those into you over and over and over. There's nothing wrong with missing some problems, guys. It's about you scoring as high as you possibly can, and to score as high as you possibly can on these ones that you can get right, we need to get those right. Do these all have something in common? Yes. What is it? 2x. X squared plus 2x minus 3. Are there factors of negative 3 that add together and give me 2? What are they? And negative 1. The factors of negative 3 that add together and give me 2 are 3 and negative 1. So positive 3 and negative 1. So the correct answer to 89 is C. That's problem number 14 on y'all's page. Guys, problem number 14 on y'all's page, again, 50%. No, I'm sorry, 27% of us. Guys, 27% of us got this one. And then the last one, it says which point lies on the graph of both functions. There's questions like this on the test. This is a good Algebra 1 question. Why are there questions like this? Because y'all have been through it. Should y'all get this right? Yes, this is one that they're testing to see if they're giving good tests. All of that goes on in a standardized test, guys. And so it should just be a matter of plugging in the numbers that work. So if I say 2 times 5 is 10, 10 minus 10 is 0. So the correct answer to number 90 should be A. Guys, you just plug the numbers in and make sure it works. All right, that's it. Okay, what you can do, guys, is you can retry these problems. You can try with more